Hello. So I was just talking to my best friend and telling her about how I was irritated by somebody at work because they keep doing certain things. It's not one thing they keep doing. It's they're doing certain things, and they're making things harder than they have to be. And I'm the kind of person, I work hard to smooth things out. I try to keep things well organized. I try to coordinate with people. I try to communicate, keep the wheel, keep the lines of communication open. When somebody drops the ball in communicating, I try to help, reconnect the line so that we all know what's going on, so we're all on the same page. Because I want to get my work done, and I want our patients to have a good experience. I want, when they come in, the job I do right now, I work as an intake coordinator at a recovery center. So, when somebody's coming in their intake, this is their first experience. This is their first, it's like, it's the first impression. That's what I'm trying to say. First impression. And, if they come in and you're all disorganized and you don't know what needs to happen next, and they're just like, well, I don't know what needs to happen next either. So anyway, some stuff has happened this week that just kind of made me grit my teeth, made me growl, and then just flat out pissed me off. Today is just flat out pissed me. Yesterday too, just really pissed me off because I was like, no, girl. I'm talking about this coworker. I'm just thinking, no. You know what's going on and you know what you need to do. And for some reason, you're dragging your feet and you're being resistant instead of cooperating. And I don't know what this is about, but I'm not having it. I'm not about this. I'm not here for this. So anyway, so I was just talking to my best friend about that. And I don't want to go into all the things. I've already done that. I already spilled my beans and got it off my chest. So, and I've already talked to my supervisors about it. Everybody knows. Everybody that needs to know, knows. And I, talked to my best friend, so good. Feeling better. The thing is that the thing I wanted to record in my vlog, my video journal, is basically what this is. Wow, your truck is loud. Louder than mine. Sorry, ADHD. Squirrel. No, for me it was the truck. Anyway, back to what I was saying. After I was talking with my best friend about this stuff, I was getting amped up, telling her, and then I was like, okay, bring it back down. I'm telling myself, calm it down, bring it down, shift gears, down, shift, down, bring it down, because it's over. Everybody who needs to know knows, and it's Friday night, and we're not worried about this stuff, leave it till Monday. So, and it's not like there's unfinished business, anyway. But there kind of is. Anyhow, my point is that I was like, oh, am I feeling triggered by this for some reason? And then I was like, yeah, because I was telling my best friend, I try to organize things. I've created a tracking board for myself so that when we have people come in, I can track. I know everything that needs to happen during intake. And I track it. I keep track of it. Check that off. Check that off. Check. Did they see so-and-so? Check. What do they need to do now? Then that way, when when my coworkers are tagging me in chats or coming to me and saying, hey, did so-and-so talk to nursing yet? Did they, who do they need to see next? I can look at that tracking board and tell you immediately, I know what needs to go on. So if people don't communicate, though, the tracking board doesn't help me, So most of all of my coworkers know about this tracking board. I've shared it with them so that when they are curious and want to know what's going on, they could just look at it and see, oh, they already saw those 3 people. That means my turn is next. I'm going to see where that patient is now, and I'm going to talk to Marcy and, see if we can make something happen. Yeah, do talk to me. It's my job. So anyway, this person is throwing a wrench in the program by dragging their feet, not communicating well, not communicating, when she's available, what time she would like to meet with them, not communicating, I communicate with her and she doesn't get back to me until she's darn good and ready. If I say, hey, so-and-so's available and they can meet with you now. If you look at your clock or whatever, you're in the middle of something and you're like, well, I can't see them now because I'm in the middle of something. Okay, well, tell me that so I know, because there are other things I could do with this patient in the meantime. And again, it's important for us to know what. Anyway, the bottom line is, yes, it triggered me, and here's why. Because I was married to somebody for 23 years, and he sabotaged me all the time, and that's what was triggering. I feel sabotaged, so it's triggering me. And along with feeling like I'm being sabotaged, and I know now. Here's the thing: I know this is not a personal thing with my coworker. It isn't about me. I know that. I don't know what it's about, but it ain't about me. She's not trying to get back at me for anything. There ain't nothing to get back at me for. So it's not about me. And that's codependent thinking, where you think everything's about you. No, you got to heal that codependent wound and change your codependent thinking, because everything is not about you. It is not. So anyhow, likewise, my intense anger, feeling really pissed off that she's thrown a wrench in the plans. She didn't ruin the entire day. She didn't, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like she threw my cake on the floor and stomped on it. And it's not like she killed my dog, or, you know what I mean? It's not like major. It's not something major. But the anger I feel is pretty intense. And the reason why is it's coming from a wound. I feel triggered by her behavior because I have been wounded by somebody. And here's the thing. It's not just one wound. For 22 years, the person I was married to, and I'm no longer married to, that person sabotaged me over and over and over and over again. Very subtle, very sneaky. But yeah, all the time. Sabotaged me. And so when you're sabotaged by somebody that you're supposed to be able to trust, somebody who swears that they love you more than anyone else. Oh, more than anyone else ever could. Please, your love ain't that big. I know there are people who could love me better than that. Anyway, the thing is that when you're supposed to be able, when this person is supposed to love you and you're supposed to be able to trust them, but they sabotage you all the time, it feels like betrayal. It is betrayal. It's a betrayal of love and trust. And it's really pretty cruel to maintain that in a relationship. Like, yeah, I'm always like this and that's just how it is. Well, you're a jerk and that's why I'm not married to you anymore. But anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on with me. Realizing, I am being triggered again and I have some healing work to do. So also, today is Dia De Los Muertos, and I am going to celebrate it for the first time. I don't know if that's the right way of putting it, celebrating it, but yes, I'm going to celebrate it. It is not like Halloween. It is a day of remembering the dead, remembering those you've lost, honoring them, honoring your memories with them, and respecting your own grief, letting yourself feel those feelings and accepting that life goes on. That, you know, dying is part of life. Like life on this planet, we all go through seasons of life, death, rebirth, life, death, rebirth. You see it in nature. You see it in the change of the seasons. It's purely natural. It's a natural process, even a necessary process. And so, you know, we are eternal beings. There's no end. There's just another journey. There's just another adventure. It doesn't change the fact that when we lose somebody or they go on ahead of us, it's painful. You know, you're going to miss them. You're going to miss seeing them where you're used to seeing them, and miss having them around to talk and laugh with, you know, miss the way they smell and miss the sound of their laugh and just all the things. So anyway, tonight I am celebrating that. I have a list of names, and I'm going to light a candle for each one of them. And I need to research this. I need to research the Dia De Los Muertos. I don't know. Is it a holiday, a celebration? But I need to research it more. But I just feel like this is a really healthy way of handling grief. Because grief is part of life. It's something that we all feel for all kinds of things, not just people we lose, but, you know, sometimes when we lose people, we also lose the dreams that we had of doing certain things with them or being with them for a certain amount of time, you know. So we grieve all kinds of stuff, you know. And yeah, so I think it's a very healthy way to honor our feelings and to honor those that have gone on. So anyway, I'm doing that tonight, and apparently I'm also going to be doing some kind of healing work for this trigger. So I'm thinking now, what am I going to do? I've got a journal about it, which this is my part of my journaling, making this video. And Okay, so I'm going to journal. I'm going to journal about those feelings and where they come from. And I'm just going to ask myself, after I write down that stuff, I'm going to ask myself some questions like, so what do I need right now? Or what do I wish that person would have done? What do I, those old things that whatever it is I list, what do I wish they would have done? What would I like to say to them if I could? Or maybe what could I have said or should I have said back then? But see, when I ask those kind of questions, I think there was no point in talking to him. He's a narcissist, and he used everything against me. Every good thing that I did, he used it against me because it actually offended him. He didn't act offended. He didn't act like he was offended, but he, that's a conversation for another day. But so anyway, yeah, I'll ask myself questions and just check in and be like, okay, what do I need today? What do I need today to make myself, to let this go? What do I need to do right now to let this go? To lay it to rest and, be done with it. And maybe, I'll see what shows up. But, sometimes in the process of healing triggers, different things come to mind. Like sometimes I'll hug a pillow, and that pillow represents my inner child. And I comfort and encourage my inner child as I hug a pillow. And that pillow, represents a part of me that I'm hugging. There are other times when I've done things like drawn a stick figure of the person who hurt me and wrote down all the things I wanted to say to them, all the angry words, even hateful things. And then there have been times when I've taken that piece of paper and torn it up and thrown it away, or I tore it up and burned it, or I put it on the floor and I walked all over it, stomped on it, and tore it up with my feet. So basically what I'm talking about is asking myself questions and then doing intuitively whatever comes to me. And when I do that, it works like a charm every time. Every time. I never end a healing session like that. When I followed my intuition, I always come away from that feeling better. Always. It never fails. So those are the things I'm going to do. I'm going to honor, going to celebrate the Dia De Los Muertos, and I'm going to do my healing work, and then I'm probably going to binge watch Bridgerton. Now you know the truth. That's a show that I watch from time to time. So yeah, I'm home now, and that's all I have to say. Bye.